So we were discussing different angles, but still the underlying message is that you keep your eye on the customer, right?
Yeah.
So you were talking about categorizing customers, etc. And I know that you've been looking at processes such as supplier creation, retention, customer creation, retention, time to market, and time to cash.
Right.
Could you tell us a little bit, which is, I mean, and the underlying message in your sort of process overview and all of that, and the demand chain definition, which you're going to talk about, is also to keep your eye on the customer. And by combining your strengths with those of your partners, that's when you can really excel and create sort of a really competitive value chain, if you like, or supply chain.
Right.
So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the starting point is the perceived customer value, which is the definition then in a rather thorough way about both the implicit and the explicit needs of the customer. And we put that up as a kind of target. And then we start to look at what kind of processes do we need to fulfill the needs of that specific customer at that specific moment. And we start building out of these 4 processes you mentioned to really make a customized logistics setup. So that's the process is hitting the bullseye of the target. And then you start to talk about how to connect it from an information technology point of view. But that's not the major point, because the next step is to also relate in relationships and see that in some kind of cases you need a very, very deep collaboration, you need partnership, you need to look at interdependency, you have to look at all that. That's what we call the demand chain, which is based on not one single company or a set of companies, but the channel as such, the holistic point of the channel. And that's when you come back to the relationships. And in other cases, you don't need that deep relationship. You can't have deep relationships with everybody. So then you have a setup of different types of channels, a portfolio, I call it, starting with rather loose connections when you just sell something and you buy something and so on. That's a loose. And then you move up the hierarchy to what I call the demand chain, where everybody's in for it, to really serve the ultimate customer and to do it with their own competences. You put competences together in this chain by collaboration, and you can't force that on anybody. You have to get everybody interested, and that's the way to do it.
So
that's the demand chain.
Yeah, and so we're talking about alignment, and one of the things that we discussed just before we started recording was when we were talking about supply chain giants. We were talking about Martin Christopher and the coinment of the term that it's pointless to compare companies. Really, what you need to look at are value chains, which is what I mean. That's the heart of it. What Dag is saying too.
Yeah.